Coming out party, massive night. Great to be back. You know, Brighton's needed a boxing event. Hasn't been one for a very long time. Tickets have gone unbelievably well. We've only got, I think, 20 tickets left, so looking to release a few more. So yeah, expect a great night. Harlem's obviously got a big step up in opponent. WBO global title, top 10 if he wins that fight. And yeah, this is his coming out party, hopefully.
Harlem, so much in the build-up, so much excitement, so much anticipation, incredible hard work from yourself. You've talked about the levels going up in the gym. Just tell us, 2 days out now, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel ready to put on a statement performance. My preparation's been, better than ever. And, I think most of the talking's done now. I'm really ready to just go in there and put on the display that I've prepared to do.
And I know it may be difficult to put into words at this stage, but when you've considered and thought about how it might be on Friday in front of your people, in front of Brighton fans, that walkout and that moment, it's going to be extra special, isn't it?
It's going to be, it's going to be massive. It's the homecoming I've wanted for a long time. And I've earned it now. I fought away, headlined in different locations, and now I can bring it back home for my city, embrace my home crowd and the people I grew up with, and put on a statement performance in there.
Chris, statement performance, Harlem predicts, and just give us your thoughts and how excited and level anticipation you're feeling for Friday evening.
Well, gentlemen, if there are any ladies, I'm excited. I am fascinated with his ability to box. I'm not really the showman that everyone speaks about. I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. And I get switched on when I see someone who has that ability. And his ability is sensational. Okay, now, let me just kind of show you how excited I am. I've tried not to speak to him for the last 4 or 5 days, and I haven't spoken to him. But there's so many things I want to tell him because he reminds me so much of the sugar, Sugar Ray Leonard. He's sweet. He moves beautifully, and I've had it in my chest. I've had that hot air in my chest to tell him about one of these moves I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard do, and if he can do it, he'll just light the world up. And it's, do you remember the fight where Leonard fought Hagler, and Hagler backed him up into that corner, and he threw about, he must have thrown about 35 punches. This is what I want you to do. When someone corners you and puts the pressure on you, and that's the wonderful thing about Harlem. He's just a sweet boxer, a beautifully sweet boxer. But if you back him up into a corner, you are in trouble. So as you can see, I am, energized by this talent here. Because obviously over the years, the bar has been set too low. This is going to be the new bar. I think I'm taking a little bit too much time, but if I can go on,
please.
You sure?
Absolutely.
No, I don't want to hug. I don't want to hug the.
As long as you like.
Well, Timo can have a.
Okay, we have time.
You can please.
Timo,
always time for a legend.
Let's bring Timo, and we'll come back to you, Chris. Timo, you've said in the build-up when we came to Brighton last month that you respect Harlem. He's a good boxer, you said, but you also said you will be his toughest opponent. He's not fought anybody at your level. Can you explain?
Yes, he's very good. He's good fighter. But we will see if he fight really a warrior like Chris Eubank Sr. I look very much fights from him, and I learn as a kid from these fights.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Yes, and I am the same warrior like him.
Well,
and
thank
we
you.
look, is the small Eubank, is he so strong?
You're going to test Harlem's strength and test how good he is.
Yes, I will test everything in his body, in his head, everything I test in this fight.
Because your last fight, for people who may not know, was Miguel Vasquez. You've also fought Junior Witter, Jack Cattrall. You took to points in a distance fight. So do you feel you've got an advantage because of your experience?
Yes, I'm very experienced. I am 14 years professional, and I see in my life very much, and I see very big guys and sparring and fights, and this is a good fight, but I come here to win. I not come here for make show. I want this fight, and I wait very long time for this moment and this chance, and I train very hard, and I look my chance.
Harlem, just want to bring you back in. Timo, clearly very confident. He's coming to win. Is that music to your ears, that you've got a game, extremely confident, experienced opponent? Your toughest test, you've said so far of your career. Is that what you want to hear 2 days before the fight?
Most definitely. We know what Timo brings. We know what he's capable of. We know what level he's fought at. And that is exactly the type of challenge that I want. That's the type of challenge that I've earned, and one that we're prepared for. We're diligently prepared for this. This is going to be my moment, my biggest test yet in Timo. You know, he's been in there with some of the top fighters in the world. And that's where we're at now. We want to put myself in position for world title shots, and this is exactly the type of challenge that I'm up for.
And Harlem, something you said to me a couple of weeks ago was every facet and every aspect of training has gone up levels. Can you explain to people what you mean by that exactly?
Just everything, the rounds of sparring, you know, have been more intense, more rounds. Everything's just been more grueling. You know, I've been eat, sleep, you know, repeat, train, repeat, giving it everything. Every ounce of energy's gone up, you know. I couldn't give any more, so I'm just prepared for anything that can happen in that ring. You know, I'm prepared to come out on top fighting that.
Chris, when you think back to when you boxed in Brighton in the early 1990s, you said you felt energized. Is it a different type of energy today than it was in the 1990s when you were preparing to go into combat, as opposed to now being side by side with Harlem?
I mean, I'm here, but I'm not here to speak about me. I'm here to speak about the man. Okay, so, you know, his ability. Now, I've watched Timo. Now, you know, when I say that I'm an expert in this boxing, I'm not just an expert. I'm a philosopher. I'm a scientist. I'm a seeker. I seek. You know, so on the night, you know, I've watched Timo, and however you may see him, if you see him as a very good fighter, I would say this to you. What you're going to see Harlem show is he'll nullify everything he does, because you can't fight if you can't hit what you can't see. His foot movement and his ring craft is it puts the heavyweights to shame. You know, you can see the 11 years he's been in this. Yeah, he's learned the art and he knows it now. He's not looking at it like, I'm still learning, because I've listened to the interviews he's done over the years. You know, I'm still learning, back in the gym. He fights on a Saturday night, he's back in the gym on Monday. He's not talking that way anymore. He's learned, now he's ready. So that's where the conversation of 147 comes in, because this is his last fight at 140. Because in my view, you know, it's 2 fights he's got to fight. One is the weight, and the second is the fight. The easier, no disrespect to Timo, but the easier part of this project, the easier part will be Timo, because to lose the weight, he's got 10 pounds to lose. 10 pounds. Now, no one pays much attention to that. That is, it makes me emotional. You know how hard it is to lose 10 pounds when you don't have an ounce of fat on you? That's his real fight. When he gets into the ring, as I've explained to him, you don't just knock him out. You don't just try to land that right hand. What you do is you show the world what you've learned over the last 11 years. Let them see the artistry. Let me see the artistry, the foot movement. Let me see the hand speed. Let me see that jab, the fast jab, the double jab. Behind the first jab is the ramrod jab. Let me see those skill sets. So, the reason you see me energized is because I'm excited about someone who can actually do it properly, not the talk. You got these guys today in boxing who they have a big talk, and people are all interested because of their talk. I don't look at talk. I'm not listening to talk. To me, that only shows that you're full of hot air. I'm looking for ability. Can you move around that terrain? The terrain can you move around it? Can you manipulate it? Can you bamboozle your opponent? Can you put on a show for the people and not just waste him away? And again, you know me. I'm honest to the core. I wouldn't tell you something, I wouldn't back something if it wasn't real. And let me say this. If you've ever heard him use bad language, show me, because I'll be going elsewhere. I don't deal with people who use bad language. I don't use people who I don't deal with people who use threats, who are aggressive, who show what warriors are not. Behaving like a TOSSPOT, I don't deal with that. TOSSPOT, what a beautiful word. I don't deal with that. I deal with warriors. Okay? So, we're humble. We are creatures of irony, for our genuine task is to ensure peace. We're peculiar characters. We'll give our lives in the ring. Well, the real ones will give their lives in the ring, but the pretenders say, oh, I've had enough. Let me tell you something about this man. He has a trainer called Charlie. Charlie's a fireman. Yeah? There's no coincidence with this, that he's a fireman. What does a fireman do? Charlie, he goes into the fire and rescues what he needs to rescue and comes out. If anyone backs him up, Harlem, if anyone backs him up in the ring, if they put him down, he's going to get up and walk back into the fire. That's what I pay for. That's value for money. Not, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. Let me kick this table over, let me show I'm angry. Back in, when I was a teenager, there was a character called Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks. Do you remember these characters? Yeah. Okay. So every Saturday you'd have on ITV, you'd have them, it's the big fight again. Even my dad was fascinated by these guys because he thought it was real, but it was choreographed. Okay, and that's what we see nowadays. So, am I going to get behind someone who's just the hot air? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm all integrity. I'm all warrior. All. I don't have it. I don't know anything else. So with that trainer in Charlie, projecting what he's me. He protects and serves. He serves the people. He protects the people. So again, when there's a fire, he runs into it. Me, I trust him. When I was put down in fights, I couldn't win. Exhausted, having absolutely nothing left in me, I got up and walked back into the fire. That's what I do. And that's what I teach. And that's who you're looking at here. So, Conor, You know, you're looking at the man here who isn't, you know, he isn't aggressive. You know, he isn't, he doesn't bark. You and your dad, you bark. Okay, fine. Okay. I was sweet back then and I beat his dad. And I say at 147, the right weight. I say at 147, Conor, this man beats you. And he beats you sweetly without having to growl and foam at the mouth. Have I said too much?
Chris, we'll leave it there because I know everybody in the room wants to speak to you as well. But no, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So Friday night live on Channel 5, Bloodline, Harlem Eubank versus Timo Schwarzkopf in association with Ladbrokes. But customary to get everybody's prediction before we pose for head-to-head pitches. Timo, what is your prediction for the fight? How do you think it will go?
I am here to win, and I don't know the fight is gone. We see.
But you are very confident, aren't you?
Yes, I'm very fit, and I have very hard training. I'm ready to die in the ring.
Nissa, what sort of performance are you expecting from Harlem on Friday?
Like I said, I hope this is his coming out party. It's a step up for Harlem. I see it going late in the rounds, but I believe Harlem will be victorious.
And Harlem, last word to yourself. How do you see the fight going on Friday?
A beautiful performance. Display the art form that I have been learning for the last 11 years and bring it home for my people.
We all can't wait. Friday, 10 p.m. on Channel 5. It is Bloodline, Harlem Eubank versus Timo Schwarzkopf. We will now pose for head-to-head pitches and then break for further interviews. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you.